Hi, my name's Janet Pace, and I would like to do a short video for you today about flame painting on copper. What's that? Well, flame painting on copper is a technique that was developed by Skip Matthews over 30 years ago, where he learned how to harness the flame in order to get specific colors and shapes in specific areas on copper, rather than just randomly heating it and letting it change colors the way we've all seen copper do when we heat it. So here are a few examples. So you can see here that we have specific colors and patterns in specific areas. And this is what we want to do when we're flame painting on copper. So I have been teaching flame painting at William Holland for a few years now, and I went and took some classes with Skip and Rachel, and they have certified me to teach their techniques, and I think they are the best. They're, of all of the techniques that I have seen on the internet, I think Skip and Rachel have the most proficient and expert way of flame painting on copper. So if you are ever in Arkansas, please go and visit them. They have a copper shop in Mountain View at the Ozark Folk Center. Prior to making the video, I soldered a little post onto the back of this heart so that I would have a handle to hold it with in my vice grips. That'll keep it from burning me while I'm working on it. The first thing that I want to do is to lay down a nice layer of oxidation on the surface of the heart, and this I will use to cut my shapes into. Now you'll notice that you will see a variety of colors, a rainbow of colors up here as we heat the copper, but we're going to go through all of those until we get to a grayish brown color. And that's pretty ugly, but that's exactly what we want to start with here. I'm going to next adjust my oxygen and my propane mix to get a reduction flame. And I'm going to use this flame to remove some of the oxidation with the torch as I lay my torch tip right down on the copper. I have to let it cool a little bit in between operations here so that I don't overheat it. So I'm laying my torch tip right down on the copper to form a shape. And I'm going to do a series of these to make a design on the little heart. Now this reduction flame is exactly what we want to do this with. Now that I have my shapes on there, I'm going to go back to an oxidation flame, and I'm going to color these until, now you see here I have some blue and some magenta, but I want to keep the flame on here until I get one of the hot colors, because the idea is to work from the hot colors down to the cool colors so that you don't erase what you have done prior by applying a lot of heat to it. So this is yellow, and that is a fairly hot color, and that's what I want at this point. Now I'm going to let my copper cool a little bit as I adjust my flame to a shorter propane flame and dial in my oxygen to get a reduction flame again, so that I can cut in another series of shapes onto the heart that I will then color to a cooler shade than what I have the yellow here, and it will be hopefully in the blue range. So that's what I'm going to do here. Just cut in some more shapes. And I think I will put some over here on this side as well. And maybe some up here too. So now I want to adjust my oxygen then for an oxidizing flame again. And I want to heat these until they turn blue. The first thing that you'll see is probably an orangish color, and then you'll see a magenta, which we have here, magenta browns, and we keep heating until we see the blue ones start to come in. Now the smaller ones are getting there, but not quite yet. We want to do this gradually so that we don't blow past the desired color. So I have lighter blue at the top, darker blue at the bottom with a little bit of magenta in it. And I think I will stop right there. What we want is to have nice sharp contrast, and it doesn't really matter what the colors are as much as it matters that we have a nice contrast, because that's what the eye wants to see. But I think that I will reduce my flame length one more time, get my reduction flame, and put another series of shapes in this big one, and see if I can get the magenta color, which will be darker on top of that. Oxidation flame to bring in the color. See what we can get, slowly, slowly, so we don't blow past it. Here we go. Here it comes. See there? Nice contrast. Now the last operation is going to be to highlight these shapes that we have by just removing some of the color back down to the copper and making a shape, and then we will not use the oxidation flame to color these. We'll just leave them highlighted. So here we go. So there's our completed heart. Now the yellows and the blues and the clear copper colors here, when they are clear coated, will maintain their color. That nice magenta color that we all like so well there, the darker one, unfortunately, no matter what kind of clear coat we put on there, it's probably going to turn to a brownish color. But that's okay. It's still a different color than everything else than we have on there, and the contrast is still very, very nice. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Come to William Holland and take a flame painting class.